And next up, we're going to check out Pastra's The Monster Haunting Deltarune, which I was told is something called Friend. I have no idea what we're getting into here. I haven't played Deltarune. I only know a tiny little bit about it, including speculative lore videos that may or may not be correct. So let's jump into it.
Ice_friend. If you are in the know about the current goings-on of Deltarune and its community, this name just sent a chill down your spine.
Why? I mean, it says the monster haunting it, but is this someone you're dealing? Oh, that is a lot of teeth in there. Okay.
Toby Fox is someone who has always had an affinity for hiding spooky little characters and Easter eggs in his games, whether it be the Goners shown in Undertale, the ever-elusive W.D. Gaster.
I don't actually know about the Goners. What is that? I mean, why does it feel like I'm trying to say something else but not entirely saying it? We'll find out.
Or other strange occurrences, these phenomena are all over these games. None, though, truly compare to the absolute nightmare that is device_friend. This guy right—
Oh, I've seen these eyes. I thought that was Spamton that had eyes like this. Or is that just a recurring theme that people have yellow and pink eyes?
Here, this silly little smiley face with—
Also, cool art style. Very creepy.
With yellow and pink eyes. I swear he's a cognito hazard. Once you learn about him, like properly learn about him and what he's doing within the—
Is he a reference to the Cheshire Cat? It's just having the decorporealized mouth and eyes that kind of makes me think that.
The narrative of this game, you do not stop seeing him. I began doing research for this video thinking it would be a fun little exploration of all the small Easter eggs he's appeared in, but the list of sightings kept growing and growing and growing. This guy is everywhere, fucking everywhere.
I'm sorry, there's actually just a random thing where there's a cat smiling on the side. I'm not even sure that's edited in or not. Oh, wait, I recognize... It's a clip of Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch from the first series. Wow, I haven't thought about that one in a while. That's a blast from the past. Probably from the previous decade.
This video is a documentation of my findings.
Also, according to Bill, Friend just randomly appears at times. No one knows what his deal is. He is supposed to be the Cheshire Cat of some kind. Oh, he's literally the Cheshire Cat. And Tara mentioned, this video was made before Deltarune 5, so some of the information may be outdated. That's fine. I wouldn't understand anyways.
Exploration in trying to find and understand everything there is to find and understand about this monster that is haunting the narrative of Deltarune. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's just jump right into it. Also, by the way, just thought you guys should know that I have a GamerSups code now. GamerSups.com/Pastra. You can use.
I've never actually tried GamerSups. Is it good? I mean, it's probably an energy drink, so I probably should avoid it regardless, but it sounds like it might be interesting.
The code that you see on screen here to get 10% off any of your purchases on GamerSups. Okay, cool. Let's get to the video. Yeah.
Dude. Pastra presents. Sorry, I haven't seen the old Dell style block computers in so long. It's nostalgia, but like the bad kind. More like repressed trauma for having to use those in school. Oh, I just got what he reminds me of. Nightmare Before Christmas. That's the aesthetic they're going for. Okay. All right. I've been told it's a they, not a he. Okay.
Device_friend made his first appearance in Deltarune's second chapter, acting as a mere Easter egg that could be found when doing the route to obtain Spamton's Shadow Crystal. When venturing into the Queen's basement to get your hands on the empty disc...
Oh, so I was right. It is the eyes that have the same coloration. Does that make Friend the big villain? He's just fucking with you the entire time? I have no idea what changed with the last chapter, so who knows?
Item, Friend can be seen watching from the darkness in one of the rooms you must go to.
How did someone catch that? It's literally not even the entire scene, and the color's almost gone when you get here. That's insane. Someone even saw that.
rooms you must go
They had to be recording the game on their own, and just someone in the chat rewinded then.
to before the carousel appears. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but they are.
How much of all of Deltarune do people stream? Not because they want to stream, but because there's no way they're going to catch everything unless they do.
There. This small appearance sparked much intrigue in the community at the time for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, the appearance of the character. Friend was a disembodied face, with its most striking features being its eyes, which shared a color palette with Spamton's glasses.
Oh, but in reverse though. Huh.
Implying a deeper connection
Or not, because they're switching around on him as well.
between him and whoever this friend character was. This led to a lot of discussion at the time, with the most popular theory being that Friend was the Mike mentioned when exhausting Spamton's dialogue in his shop. As well as this implied connection, Friend was also immediately fascinating for the prefix their sprite file had, which labeled them as a
Oh, so that's not his actual name in game. It's his code within the actual, well, I guess, ones and zeros of it. Okay.
device. The reason this was important was because there is a popular fan theory that the device prefix in the game files refers to some kind of device created by W.D. Gaster for the express purpose of allowing us, the player, to interact with the game.
This I do remember because I saw a previous lore video that came out a bit ago, right before the 5th chapter dropped, about Gaster's entire interaction here, and a lot of speculation about what's going on. That said, it was speculation, and I'm missing a lot of context, so I know him making this world is very heavily implied. I think that was confirmed, but I'm not entirely sure if it was or not.
Elements of the game, such as the character creator and save files, for example, are given this same prefix.
Oh.
So between the clear connection to Spamton and this, it was clear to most people that this character or entity or whatever they were was important. This small Easter egg was not the only time the presence of Friend could be observed in Chapter 2 as well.
I wonder if the person you drop in is actually just Kara, or your player character in Undertale, because that's how they fall down the mountain.
When
Probably too much of a random pull there at that point. Unrelated, most likely. Yeah, most likely. I don't know nearly enough about the lore to really speculate yet. I wish I did.
exploring the Dark World, the colors yellow and pink could be seen in multiple places, further establishing a strange connection between the Dark World and whoever this friend is. At one point, the player can see neon signs in the background of the Cyber City, displaying those colors and the imagery of cats alongside them. These same bright pink and yellow colors can also be seen in the windows of Cyber City, just far enough out of view that you may not notice them. But once you're looking for them, they...
Because in the distance, they don't look like colors specifically. It's more like just, oh, hey, glowing stuff. Because it's a city. Okay. That's a really cool way to hide the the motif there.
Are right in your face. This character was everywhere, but we had no way of knowing why, as Deltarune was still very much in its infancy.
Is it intentionally a reference to him, though, or just something else as an overall motif of the game itself? I don't know enough, but that would be my initial assumption until something points out otherwise. I will point out this comment, though, when it eventually loads. Oh, yeah, it's doing this today. Try this. You're pointing out like an avalanche coming down to the mountain? The only dialogue that mentions it occurs in the mic room where Jongler says that just because he's called friend doesn't mean he's your friend or something like that. Oh, okay. I have no idea what the point of that is, mostly because... No, actually, I kind of do, just because not your friend is implying he's helping someone and you're not the person being helped. Or is that a reference to not the player specifically?
See, when Chapter 2 was out, everyone just kind of assumed he either was Spamton or was something relating to Spamton purely because of the shared eye color and Friend's first appearance happening in a route that was directly tied to Spamton. He would not stop appearing.
Okay, so the routes actually do you can take a route that doesn't involve him. So he's not everywhere, but he's in specific ones leading to the part, I guess, side boss, hidden boss, whatever.
After this, though, with his presence continuing to be felt within the game and, more importantly, external media.
Wait, what?
The first
I'm sorry, external? Are we going full ARG on this thing?
instance of us seeing Friend outside of the game happened when Fangamer launched its first Deltarune Chapter 2 merch, and with it, the Spampton Special Fun Pack. In this funny little paper bag, fans...
It's actually a garbage can and a dump. Oh, I hate how much that would actually get me.
Could purchase any number of goofy little trinkets relating to Spampton, with one being of note to this discussion, a
Pippus? What? Probably a joke or something he says. Also, Zone added, you definitely need to make a playthrough of Deltarune, especially because of the latest chapter releasing recently. You know, enough people have said that. Who knows? Maybe I'll add that as a member goal or something.
do not disturb sign for your door, showing Spampton in all his glory,
I'm inside
as
now.
well as a piercing pair of pink and yellow eyes behind him. This is not too
and there's square eyes as well, which he definitely has, unlike Spampton, who has the circles because of the glasses.
important in the grand scheme of things. It is merch after all, but I bring attention to it both because it further reinforces the clear connection between both of
they're kind of circular in a pixelated style here. I guess it makes sense.
These characters, as well as acting as a prelude to a major development in this character's relevance. The Spampton Sweepstakes.
What?
If you hadn't heard of this...
Oh, I've heard of this. I just never got around to seeing it. Yeah, Bill Cipher in the chat has been bringing it up a lot.
I don't blame you. The Spampton Sweepstakes was a live charity event where donators had the chance to win a whole plethora of Spampton-themed prizes. It was a goofy, fun event with one of my favorite videos on YouTube tied to it for the finale, but on top of that, the community quickly realized that there was an ARG element attached to it. By exploring the Spampton Sweepstakes site, people were able to find teasers for future chapters, Easter eggs alluding to stories that have yet to be explored, and yes, you guessed it, they could encounter Friend.
Considering this is something Toby Fox did, is this one of those guaranteed encounters, or random number generator says insert so many times he will actually appear? Just enough to fuck with you, but not enough to guarantee you see him. Also, Bill mentioned the Spampton Sweepstakes is the ARG. There is now an ARG going on about the weird genocide route. Oh, there's a genocide route. Okay.
The first and most obvious of these Friend encounters was in the form of the chair page that, when clicked enough, would cause you to be jump scared by Friend's eyes. But this was just...
So your friend is in the cuck chair, watching you. I hate everything I said, and more because I don't think I'm wrong in that interpretation. Because the entire character is literally just watching and having fun doing it. Oh god, that makes it worse.
The tip of the iceberg. Further exploration of this site eventually led to the discovery of a series of blog posts that were made by Noelle. These blog posts ranged from a couple of things. One discussed her interactions early on with Susie, one talked about her frequent playing of the game Dragon Blazers, and another, very important one, discussed a game she used to play called Cat Petters. This blog goes over...
Also, if there was a game called that in real life, my wife would love it because it would involve kitties. Yeah, just throwing it out there. How old is this video? 9 months, so it definitely is before the current update, though.
Her experiences with the game, and it shows us a couple very notable things.
A virus.
Mainly the fact that the game she played had a very similar art style to a real pet raising game called Cats 2, which predominantly featured cats that were made up of a bunch of segmented circles that were all animated separately. This doesn't sound important, but trust me, it is.
I've actually seen animation styles like that in other games. Of all things, Rain World, though. Not the connection I was expecting to see, though.
tells a story about her time playing the game, about how she would frequently mess with it, and how one day she got an egg for a cat that never hatched. She raised it, took care of it, but nothing ever came of it. It eventually just left. This whole story was strange, but how is it connected to Friend?
Cat.
How is Friend connected to any of this? Well, a
Cheshire cat, because it's a face without eyes connected. Yeah.
deeper dive into Noelle's blog posts eventually leads us to a page where she specifically breaks down how the rarities of the different cats you could catch in the game worked. There was an 80% chance for a normal cat, a 15% chance for a cat with blue aura, a 4% chance for a rock and roll cat, and a super incredibly low chance for an angel cat. Suspiciously, she also mentions the existence of a supposedly rarer cat that only she saw, one that killed her and that she had no recollection of.
Is dying and then getting over it part of Deltarune? Okay, I'm missing things. Good to know.
That already sets off alarm bells, but what gets weirder is when we look deeper into the Spamton sweepstakes themselves.
There's more?
By doing so, we can find a minigame that parallels this blog
It's literally clicking on kitties, isn't it?
post. A minigame that allows us to click on random cats on screen that perfectly match Noelle's description. We can click normal cats, cats with blue aura, rock and roll cats, angel cats. All of it's here. And you know what else is here? Friend. Lingering on this site long enough, clicking on cats eventually results in a Friend jump scare that sends you back to the main page.
Because it kills you. Yeah. Oh.
Friend
that's so
is
cool.
deeply connected with this Cat Petters game, and even more so, deeply connected with Noelle. Because truth be told, this is not where the connections between these two characters stop. When we look deeper into Noelle's story, we can see instances and implications of this character everywhere. As I said before, the windows in Cyber City back in Chapter 2 showcase the color of Friend's eyes, but what I didn't mention is that these colored windows specifically appear once you get to the part of the game where Noelle is in your party.
Oh. Also, is that guy just plugged into something? What the hell? It's a Deltarune thing. I don't know what's going on. I need to figure out. What the? Okay. Also, Bill, her character died? Oh, okay. That makes more sense then. Yeah. Also, Skeleton, New Game Plus, go back to vanilla? I feel I'm missing context here.
As well as that,
Oh, I'm assuming that's the genocide route then, that gets New Game Plus? Or something else.
if you go to this same location during the weird route, the windows become much clearer and easier to see, as if the game
And bigger too, looking like eyes.
now wants you to look at them. And on top of all that, it doesn't stop there, because in the same chapter, once you get Noelle in the party, you will distinctly notice that in the HUD for the party, Noelle is depicted as being a bright yellow color for her sprite. And Susie, Noelle's crush, who she spends the entire game fawning over, Susie's sprite is pink. I know, I already sound crazy, but I can't be the only one who sees this connection. Right?
Paralleling the characters to something on the side watching them? Oh. Also, I'm being told right now, chat is losing it because I'm getting into the deep end of Deltarune lore. Yeah. Probably, but honestly, the deep end is the stuff I find interesting.
Noelle is already so intertwined with this thing. I'm just seeing him everywhere now, and we haven't even gotten to Chapter 3 yet. Speaking of Chapter 3, this chapter, as well as Chapter 4, are where this character's appearances begin to amp up to 11. In Chapter 3 especially, this is where the general player is going to see him, as it has his most in-your-face appearance.
I'm so used to games being censored that seeing one actually allowed to swear in writing, it kind of surprises me.
appearances that aren't tied to Easter eggs or external media. The first and most obvious of these appearances happens at the very beginning of the chapter during Ralsei's monologue. When describing the dark and the creatures that come from it, front and center of the visual aid is Friend given a full body. This design is very interesting.
Yeah, I think I've seen images of this guy before, and it's just like, oh, it's a hand. Is that intentional, though? Or is it looking like a hand, but it's also supposed to be something else? And there's also a little... Oh, wait, is it representing hands? No, it's legs in the front and legs in the back then, maybe. Okay.
Not only does it clearly convey now that this character is a cat, which further reinforces its connection to the Cat Petters game, but it also shares similarities to the appearance of one of the amalgams seen in Undertale's True Lab.
Oh, and it has outlines of what looks like cats down here underneath it. Huh. Both like outlining of feet. Just realized what it looks like. It looks like one of those puzzles where what do you see? And there's both answers there.
I don't know why this is the case, but it is an interesting detail. Continuing on, there are some small occurrences throughout this chapter which could be unrelated or pure coincidence, but very well could also relate back to Friend once again. During the results screen after completing Tenna's game boards, the text for the results are, you guessed it, pink and yellow. Going into the back of the S rank room.
Now, how do we know this is not just him or her or whatever they are digging too much into this one? Because some of these do seem like they're definite shout outs. Others seem more like a motif of the entire game itself.
And interacting with the vending machine will allow you to purchase an item simply called
TV swap.
Smile, with accompanying flavor text that reads, always at your humble service.
Okay, that does seem a little more intentional, though.
The game doesn't directly communicate that this is related to Friend, but it honestly has them written all over it, given everything we've observed thus far, so I'm inclined to believe it is. Speaking of that S-rank room, Friend's presence in this chapter becomes even more obvious the moment we gain access to this. I made a whole...
Wait, I'm sorry, is there a... There's a TV room where you play an old style RPG with your own character. This is a level of meta that I kind of love. Dude.
I made a whole video on this sequence and why it freaks me out so much, which you can watch by clicking the link in the top corner. So I won't get too much into detail on it, but it is a gold mine for Friend sightings, so I'm gonna really hone in on it here. First things first, to actually access this minigame, the player needs to get their hands on a controller that they do not have. At first, it seems like you're gonna need to go and look for it, but suddenly, there it is, just left there for you right outside the room. Inspecting the item, the flavor text on it tells us that the controller has pink and yellow joysticks. Not even playing the game yet, and Friend is making his presence known now. Later on, you're also...
Honestly, it still feels more like this is just a motif of the game and colors that they just happen to use. Huh. Also, yeah, chat is definitely losing it.
Able to talk to Ram.
But according to Play, Deltarune keeps getting crazier with gameplay variety. Wait, there's gameplay variety. Oh, that's actually kind of suppressing. Suppressing. Well, I can't speak today. Impressive. There we go.
About this whole weird interaction, asking if someone else was in the room with you, to which he just kind of brushes it off, which...
I can't tell if that's a mime, a mouse, or someone's attempted pixelated handsome Squidward. And of course, I just realized the overalls they're wearing are making this unfrowny face.
The fact that this is brought to our attention at all, and the fact that the controller is so evidently tied to this character, it has some scary implications about Friend just lurking in the back room with us. Actually getting into the game itself, this is where I feel most people really...
Old school Zelda, that's what it reminds me of. Oh, I knew something about this was incredibly nostalgic. And I'm not talking like... Actually, no, Link to the Past levels. Oh, dude, I played that game once and I sucked at it so hard, but I remember this style. It's like, you have beaten the world. Now you need to go to the dark world. How much of Link to the Past specifically of Zelda did inspire this? I have no idea.
Really started to take note of this character and his sightings within the game. Exploring the different worlds of the original game board, the player can immediately enter these pyramids once they've leveled up enough, which I mentioned in my previous video allows us to see this chapter's secret boss, Airier, lurking in the dark. What I neglected to mention is that Airier is not the only one present here. Entering the same pyramid
Oh, it had words on there. I think you seen or something. I couldn't make out the rest.
From a different entrance allows us to encounter Friend itself, who depending on which way we enter from will either be present with their smile visible in the dark or their eyes before vanishing.
Oh, see details like this. This I absolutely love. Oh, dude.
We get to see more of Friend after this in the actual Airier boss
he's
fight
just flat out in
itself,
there.
where the entity spawns in masses as an enemy we can fight, vanishing with the exact same laugh every time we attack them. Both of these appearances, as well as it just appearing in the open.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of Zelda in that one. Also, me and told by Taryn, you very much recommend watching the author's vid about the Zelda styled segment. Oh, so it's not just me thinking that, it's explicitly done on purpose. Cool.
Rousey monologue were what properly introduced me to this character and sparked this entire deep dive in the first.
Or what's up with the snake that has 5 arms? Why do I get angel vibes from just being really freaky?
First place. At first, I thought this thing was a mere enemy used as an ad for the boss fight and nothing else, only to realize as I dug deeper for my video about Airier that Friend had much, much more going on. Speaking of which, although that is the end of Chapter 3's appearances for Friend,
Airier?
there are a couple of things I've yet to mention about.
I know he's the boss, but I don't know enough about him. There's a lot of things I would like to learn, though.
These appearances that really intrigue.
And they remind me of Pac-Man now, because when you hit them, they go white. Okay, so they're doing a lot of nostalgia on this.
Intrigue me. Firstly, that odd controller. When thinking about this controller, one may wonder what it would be in the light world given how important it is. Well, actually going to the light world and exploring Chris and Asriel's bedroom, we get our answer.
Why is there a random blood stain? Probably comes up in the game, but okay.
It's a bootleg controller hooked up directly to Chris's game console. A bootleg controller that Chris used to play Dragon Blazers. The same game series that Noelle talked about playing in her blog posts. The same Dragon Blazers that is evidently mirrored by the secret original game board we play with the odd controller in the Dark World.
Oh, so there's a lot of tie-ins that you don't know from outside media even. Huh.
Don't believe me? Let's quickly.
Also, according to Play, Airier isn't the official name of this entity with the orange smile, by the way. That's what their introduction track is named. Oh, wait, do they have a name?
Take a detour to look at what Gerson says in Chapter 4. In Chapter 4, we clearly learned that Dragon Blazers was based off of Gerson's novel, Lord of the Hammer. And during Gerson's boss fight, he describes what happens in each chapter of that book. These chapters are shown in the original game through the setting we play in. Chapter 2 is called The City of the Shining, which clearly relates to Chapter 2 of Deltarune with Queen, but also is paralleled here by the third game board. Chapter 3 is called the
third game board. Oh, there's multiple then. Huh.
Isle of Northern Light, with it being described how the heroes travel the islands to catch a glimpse of a lost land. Looking at the original game board, this lines up perfectly with the Ice Palace, with there even being...
Sorry, I'm having so much nostalgia seeing this style of animation for a game. Seeing it in color is actually the weird part, because I recognize this from black and white games. For example, the original, not Wind Waker, Windfish series. I don't even remember the name of it, but like that level of Zelda just is this animation all the way through with the square-based particles. Or not even particles, like just the board based on the squares they have, with every individual piece being another one of them.
A message in it which reads, "Go to the Northern Light." This original game is Dragon Blazers, which is important, both because it explains where the odd controller comes from, but it even further reinforces the connection between Friend and Noelle. Noelle played Dragon Blazers, and when we go to the original board in the Ice Palace, we can gain a party member that is clearly supposed to be Noelle. So many aspects of Noelle's life have this.
Why do they hide her if it's supposed to be her?
Bizarre connection to friend, and it doesn't stop there, because once we look at chapter 4.
Also, yeah, the problem solving here is so much old school Zelda. Dude. This would almost tempt my wife into playing Deltarune. I don't think she would, but this probably would be tempting.
Properly, it gets worse. Chapter 4 is perhaps the most important chapter for friend appearances, mainly because it feels like the point in the game where a lot of smaller threads begin coming together. We can first see friend in this chapter when engaging with the secret Mike boss fight, which turns.
Oh yeah, so the mic was mentioned earlier. Now they have the actual mic. And then there's an actual cat with a notched tail with the eyes that look the same.
Turns out to merely be a bunch of Pippins in disguise. Throughout this fight and the lead up to it, there is a lot of cat imagery with yellow and pink going alongside it. As well as this, a section of the fight allows you to play the cat.
I'm sorry, was Chris doing like the Russian dance for a second there? What?
Going alongside it. As well as this, a section.
He is doing the meme dance. Good on them for animating that. Okay.
Section of the fight allows you to.
Also, according to Bill, the minigame represents the genocide weird route. She was used up. You were used up. I don't have enough context to understand that, though.
To play the Cat Petters minigame from the Deltarune website, complete with the same friend Easter egg if you play it for long enough. Oh, yeah, he was briefly in the section here when it went past it. Okay. Adds nothing new to what we already knew before, but it's a fun way for this connection from before to make its way into the actual game so that people can more easily find it. As well as this, even one of the fake mics we fight has a cat design with pink and yellow eyes, which is clearly meant to be a silly nod towards early fan theories that Mike and Friend were one and the same. After this, we start to see some creepier and much more important references to the character throughout this chapter.
An actual cat with pink yellow eyes, although this one is high detail by comparison and very cute.
When venturing into the Chapter 4 Dark World, there are these rooms you can find that are shrouded in such.
I would hate this level. I would absolutely and utterly hate this level. It's a cool idea to have what looks like a visualization of echo imagery, but I would still hate it.
Deep darkness that the only way to see is by using the sound waves created by your footsteps. In one of these rooms, completely hidden, we can actually find Friend hiding away from us, only being revealed when the sound waves pass by him. This alone is extremely creepy, but the Easter eggs we find later are even worse. Later on in the chapter, we're able to interact with these NPCs called organics, who take the role of philosophers. They speak about a bunch of random things, but there is one in particular who is.
They're organic shapes, that's why. Yeah.
Is incredibly interesting. He's very out of the way, and when you speak to him, you will quickly notice that his dialogue is jumbled up. Deciphering the dialogue will give you the message. Lost where the forest would grow. The children followed the pointed tail. The poor children.
The fuck?
Now, this message.
What the okay, that escalated. But maybe it did. Who knows? I probably need to get the game to play it or understand any of this.
Could mean a lot of things, but it, in tandem with a couple of other interesting Easter eggs, seemed to connect it to one evil, smiling friend.
Because the one part written into the text that we've heard so far was, he's a friend, but not your friend.
As well as this bit of dialogue, we can find another Easter egg in the form of a prophecy that discusses the same tale. The prophecy reads, "The tale of hell will take crawl," and shows a peculiar looking tail made of segmented circles. Very simple.
Because that's how the cat game was based around segmented Hearts and circles. Okay.
Similar to the ones described in Cat Pedders. As well as this, we can find another prophecy that simply reads roots, depicting the visual of a house between two trees. This house could mean a lot of things, but there are two aspects of it that stand out to me and feel relevant to the discussion at hand. Firstly, this house and the way it's set up looks and feels very similar to that of the bunker. One large structure.
The bunker? Oh, I think I remember this from other videos. This is where they first get into the Dark World in the first game, right? I could be very mistaken about that.
Wedged between trees in a spot where the forest would grow. As well as this, it looks strikingly similar to the adoption center from Cats 5, which could very well be intentional, but who knows, maybe it's just confirmation bias speaking. All this to say, though, that these...
Plus, the idea of trees around a house is kind of generic, so you can hide a lot with that just by making it so generic. Or leave yourself room if you ever want to add something in later. From what I've seen of Toby Fox's other game, Undertale, and a lot of things coming up, I don't think generic and, fuck it, we'll do it later is his style. I know a lot of other franchises that do that, but I don't really think that would apply here.
Three Easter eggs all feel intrinsically linked to Friend and his involvement in the overarching story of Deltarune. They paint a very grim picture of the goings-on in the world and how Friend could potentially be tied both to the disappearances of multiple children in the light world, but also could be a key player in the prophecy. There is even more that can be found going deeper into this.
Again, this still feels more like a motif than it does a direct reference to Friend, like the colors themselves. Because I don't think, for example, the colors of the characters would be as much a direct reference to the device as it would be anything else. It seems more like this is just something that the game is playing with and might have reference later, but it's not quite there yet.
Chapter, if you can believe it, and it's all thanks to good old Gerson and his dialogue during his boss fight. During this fight, as we described before, he goes over the different chapters of his book Lord of the Hammer, which we learned was adapted into Dragon Blazers, and adapted from the Prophecy. Well, one interesting thing is that Gerson actually briefly talks about Chapter 5, and gives us a...
Oh, there was an entire bullet hell segment. I would lose that so hard.
Very small glimpse into what that chapter will hold. And what is it he says? Chapter 5, the field of pink and gold. The vast garden is charred in an inferno of jealousy. Pink and gold. There.
I'm assuming... Oh, well, I paused at a really bad time for my eyes. Dear God, that is actually hard to look at. Even that is better. It was actually very bright for a second there.
It is, again, those two colors that have driven me...
Did something really horrible happen in Chapter 5? I don't know, actually. Asking is a bad idea because that would be spoilers.
To what feels...
Also, I'm being told by Grandmaster, the entire game battles are bullet hell. Ooh.
Like complete madness. Everywhere I look, pink and yellow. This description alone to me implies we're going to be seeing...
But I mean, even just in him, like his eyes are yellow, his top knot, scarf is pink. It's kind of everywhere.
Much more of Friend in Chapter 5, and that coupled with the king trapped in asylum prophecy featuring as...
That just sounds like Undertale at that point, especially with the flower. I'm not the only one seeing that. It's just Asgore's outline with Flowey.
That can be found. I'm scared about how things are shaping up. One final little tidbit I think is worth mentioning here before we move on is a much more minor detail that could bear some heavy significance. When we go to the end of the chapter where we have our final confrontation with the Roaring Knight and the Titan, there is this scene where Susie is shit-talking the Knight and the Knight begins to laugh. Those who were very astute quickly took note of the fact that this laugh sound effect is the exact same laugh that can be heard from Friend. The exact same one.
Is it a generic laugh effect, or is it specific to the character, though? For all I know, that could just be the generic laugh the entire game uses for all of them. I don't know.
Whether this bears significance, I don't know. But given everything else we've seen so far, I wouldn't be surprised. And that takes us to the current end of friend sightings in Deltarune. There may be some I missed or some connections I've yet to draw, but that is all I was able to currently find in my own.
So this jumping mechanic is definitely throughout the entire game because I've seen it used multiple times now. Okay.
Own research and make connections to. That being said, though, we're not done yet.
What?
It may seem like we are, but somehow
how much more is there?
We're not done yet.
Are we going full ARG even deeper than we already did?
Let's take a...
The fuck just happened? Okay.
Game had very... Let's take a trip
Not sure what happened there, but okay.
years back to a little game
in Chapter 4 exclusive was jumping.
Undertale.
Okay.
This game...
Oh, I've heard of this game. It's so old and no one's ever talked about it before. I probably just pissed someone off in chat.
Had very minute details that nobody would have paid attention to, but given the...
This is probably what inspired the absolute paranoia from some of the fan base, which is how you found Gaster, for example.
Current subject of this video now mean a lot. First things first, you know how on the Spamton sweepstake there was this odd sprite of friend that had a magenta eye for seemingly no reason despite the eye normally being a brighter pink? Well, taking a look at Sans during his boss fight reveals something interesting to us. The karma mechanic, that little poison effect that all of his attacks give you, the coloration of those attacks is magenta when shown on your yellow health bar. The same magenta we see with friends' eyes down to the fucking hex code.
Okay, if that's it, that's actually way more impressive. Hex codes for color are how you correlate various usages, and it's actually used a lot more in branding, so that if you have a color associated with your brand, everyone who sees it immediately thinks of you. It's also why some companies are actually incredibly pedantic about if you're using a reference, you have to make sure to get the right codes with the right colors associated with them, because if you don't, that very much is against their trademark, which is against their recognition, which might actually hurt them because people start to disassociate them. And because of how it's enforced, there's a lot of other bullshit there. But it also gets to the point where if you just see a can and it's red, you're either going to immediately think Coca-Cola or soup. Because that kind of immediate reference to two very similar items is why color codes matter. I was going to say that this is probably just a random thing. It's like, maybe it just shows you're just taking a different route. But if it's down to the color code specifically, I'd give that a lot more weight for that very reason.
And that's not all. His yellow eye, same color as the yellow used for sparing enemies, for the save points, for your health. And it continues to get worse, dear viewer, because there is an elephant in the room I've yet to even mention. In the ruins of Undertale, having been present since the first demo, is a frogget. A simple, unsuspecting frogget. Talking to this frogget, he will allow you to change the color of your spare button from its usual yellow to pink. The exact same pink as friends' eyes are normally.
So he'd be giving you the two options of spare, and in the poison effect, if it changes into the magenta instead of pink. This feels more like a motif at this point, but maybe it could be something more.
Same hex code and everything. This can't be a coincidence, right? But then what does it even mean if it isn't? Why would a frogget in the ruins changing the color of our spare color in fucking Undertale?
I mean, the other option that I probably don't think is right, just because Toby Fox in every game he seems to be associated with loves hiding shit. The option is maybe he just likes these colors, and when he made the game, he's like, oh, let's do that. And then when he made this game, when he made Deltarune, it's like, I can keep the motif going because I like it. Fuck it. We ball. I don't really personally think that's going to be accurate as a random guess, but I've heard dumber ones.
Be relevant to the existence of some demonic cat creature in a game Toby Fox released 10 years later. Damn. I don't understand.
Shit, it was a decade, wasn't it? God damn. Sorry, I'm still the person who thinks about Undertale as like, oh yeah, it's that new game that everyone's still playing. That ain't the case anymore. Unless you're going to tell me Skyrim's over a decade old and they keep releasing it every year.
I swear this character is everywhere I look. I go to watch a fun cartoon, there he fucking is. I go to look at pictures of cute little cats, there he is. I want to buy some Joy-Cons for the Switch. Nope, no you don't, because there he is.
Oh, they are definitely losing their mind at this point in the video. It's kind of fun to watch.
Hiding in plain sight. No matter where I go, he's there. It's like I unlocked some kind of eldritch knowledge I wasn't.
If I have to read this, I'm going to subject everyone else to it as well. Skyrim is 15. Well, that's knowledge I now have, and I don't know what to do with.
Supposed to have. Okay, Pastra, calm down. Calm down. It's just a coincidence. You just need to detox. Just go play some Fortnite or something. That always cheers you up.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's horrible. Personally, I'm not a fan of Fortnite. Can't aim to save my life in that game. I'm used to hit scanning too much.
Oh, yeah, let's go. This is exactly.
Fortnite? Okay, I'm just going to run with this one. Sure.
Exactly what I needed. Nothing beats good old Fortnite. Oh, my buddy's emoting. Let me just join in. Wait a minute. No, it can't be. No, anywhere but Fortnite. No, not that cat.
I'm assuming Pastra is going to have a mental breakdown when Fortnite eventually has a collab with anything Toby Fox has done. I'm only saying this because at this point, I'm just assuming if it's not there, it will be there eventually.
Anyone but that cat! I'll never be free!
Oh, God.
So, what does it all mean?
What?
Surely Toby wouldn't infect his fans with the feline equivalent
I guess that's a different person, or they're very good at voice acting.
of the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon for shits and giggles. Right? Surely. There's an explanation here. A missing puzzle piece. Something that will tell us what Friend's purpose in Deltarune's narrative
I'm wondering if the entire point of Friend is literally just to piss off the people who are paranoid about this.
is, or will ultimately be. Are they Gaster's evil lackey, doing his bidding in order to move the plot of Deltarune forward? Are they a demon, born from the darkest depths from which the fountains are released? Are they going to be the final boss of the game? Maybe they're secretly pulling all the strings behind the scenes, secretly controlling the knight's actions. Could they be controlling Carol? Could they be the ones truly
The fuck?
controlling Chris? Could they be controlling you? Could they control me? Could they even... Anyways,
Okay. They got the lip syncs to match up on that one. Good for them on that. That was actually really good.
obviously, we are working to solve an incomplete puzzle over here. And as of the release of this video, at least, only 4 of the 7 chapters that compose Delta
7. Oh, they already had listed out how many there were. Why is that in Chinese? Could be Japanese. I don't know. Maybe it's a language select. Huh. So there's explicitly only so many chapters.
Deltarune have been released. But as a certified Deltarune gamer with an incredibly high IQ who's never been wrong about any of my
Oh, they're a Deltarune content creator. Okay. How are Deltarune fans still wondering who the knight is after nearly 3 years? When chapter 2 literally just shows you Chris opening the fountains. Do they gotta look directly at the screen and go, "Hi, player, hello, my name is Chris, the knight, Deltarune. I did it, it was me." I'm assuming the joke is that they're not.
Deltarune theories ever, I feel particularly equipped to solve this heterochromic mystery. So let me just take a stab at the dark here and come up with my own theory for what Friend's all about. And then you guys can tell me what you think about it in the comments. So I think I have about, yeah, 8, I think I got about 8 minutes before they're done with that, so just hear me out here.
Jeez.
As Zach previously mentioned, everywhere Noelle Holiday goes, Friend is sure to follow. They are in Dragon Blazers. They are in the Chapter 4 Cat Petters inspired minigames. Always hidden, just out of sight. Always smiling, watching. And if you really think about it, if we just ignore the rest of Deltarune's plot and focus purely on Noelle,
I don't know Deltarune's plot, so yeah, sounds about right.
she's sort of a protagonist of a creepypasta story, isn't she? Like, she's almost the archetypical creepypasta/unfiction horror story protagonist. She has a blog dedicated to secrets, glitches, and Easter eggs in her favorite games. A sister who disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Very frequently shows gaps in her memory caused by traumatic events. And yet, she has an unwavering determination to face the unknown. Maybe out of curiosity, maybe out of some masochistic adrenaline-fueled thrill, or maybe, just maybe, as an unconscious drive to find something, anything, that could tell her where Des might have gone to.
So I'm assuming there's just bullshit up with her, and that's the entire point of her character then? Yeah, that makes sense.
And if Noelle's...
I mean, if you said gaps in memory and missing sister, I'd be like, oh, yeah, she's definitely either the love interest, the final boss, or some kind of MacGuffin you'll find out later at the end.
Protagonist of this creepypasta story, well then, buddy, who better to serve the role of the mysterious antagonistic anomaly/cryptid than our buddy Friend over here? Every time Noelle digs deeper than she's supposed to, Friend is there to greet her. Noelle tries to document every single cat type in Cat Petters. Bam! Friend jump scare. Noelle tries to mod her game to get the ultimate secret cat. Bam! Special egg friend thing. Noelle plays Dragon Blazers and accidentally performs the evil weird route in her game. Bam! There they are throughout the sword routes. Noelle has a habit of reading her blog spam mail, forming a small connection with her spam bot, to the point that he gifted her a little peepees? Well, guess what entity might have then contacted that little mailman in the dark world, and had such a profound impact on him that he still wears that entity's colors on his glasses? So, with that all in mind, I ask you, what if the dark worlds of Deltarune have the power to give life not only to objects, but a Lightner's own imagination itself? A vision of something that only existed within...
This is something that I know if I just played the game, so it's probably just not even a joke. It's more just me not knowing.
In your own mind. Something you maybe secretly wished existed.
Also, I'm being told, my god tutor, the knight was a stand user. It was a JoJo reference all along. I probably just made someone very upset. I'm okay with that.
Something you looked for. A being brought into existence through the power of darkness mixed in with belief. A stray childhood thought. A creepy monster you swear you saw lurking in the shadows of your bedroom. Maybe a dark secret you were hoping to uncover, hidden inside your favorite video game. Friend is Noelle's Mew behind the truck. Friend is Noelle's operator.
Wait, Mew behind the truck? Oh, isn't there like some kind of joke about how you think that's there but never was? I mean, I've heard that for the original Pokemon along the lines of, if you play for 99 hours and you're exactly in the one place by the sea, there will be a new continent that opens up for a small island where you can catch Pokemon that haven't been released yet. It was only a small Easter egg you can get. It was all bullshit, though. But I did that for years as a kid.
Her Ben who drowned. Her Sonic of the .exe variety. And well, yes... Friend is a little scary creature, sure. It's not like Noelle's adverse to scary things, right? In fact, as she herself says in Chapter 2's Carousel Ride, she finds such things comforting. And that's what I believe Friend really is. A sort of imaginary friend. The reward for looking deeper than anyone else would. A creature born...
I'm assuming when they say it's not your friend, it's probably Noelle's friend then?
From darkness, conjured from the mind of a sheltered little kid, seeking some thrills to spice up their boring hometown life. And yet, there's, something missing. Isn't there? There's something missing in this theory. An unexplained emptiness. A missing puzzle piece. The thing that makes Friend so much more special than other Darkners. Because unlike any other Darkner, any other character...
Again, it's something I would know if I played the game, so that's probably not something I really focus on.
Friend's presence haunts the very roots of the narrative itself. And so, while our missing puzzle piece still isn't...
I just realized, every time these three eyes come up, they're only the yellow version and nothing else.
...here for us to find. Its presence, or rather, its absence can still be felt. In the middle of chapter 2, Chris and Noelle start to reconnect. Noelle then reminisces about their shared past. She talks about a shining city of lights, a place very similar to the very cyber city they're walking through. One that
Honestly, it's a cool effect how you just see her in shadow the entire time while you're mostly standing in light. Yeah, not sure if that's intentional, just cool design choice.
Noelle's sister December once said that she would take her to, a place they promised each other they'd one day go out to and explore together. But before before that promise could be fulfilled, December went missing. It happened during the night, years before our own story began, back when all 4 of them were still kids.
God damn you, Sarian. I'm going to pull this up. I know what you wrote. I'm going to pull it up, but you son of a bitch. The secret island in Pokemon was real. If it turns out that it's actually real and you're not joking, I'd be more surprised. If you're joking, cool. You got me. But if it was real, I'd be like, son of a bitch. The entire time.
Chris, Noelle, Astral, and
Gaster?
December. 2 pairs
That's
of
a word.
siblings. 2 families once inseparable. An adventuring party. Maybe as a dare. Maybe to prove a school rumor wrong. Maybe as a test of courage spurred on by the older siblings. Or to just simply go on an adventure together and have some fun outside. Regardless of the reason, they all set out to explore the edges of hometown, beyond.
Also, I'm checking out Bill's comment. Darkeners are soulless objects and concepts given life and form by a dark fountain. Oh, they're actually just objects. Oh. And Play mentioned Darkener equals character living exclusively in the dark world. Huh.
On that graveyard, in the middle of the night, surrounded by darkness. And of course, as a group.
Wait, did that have a hammer? Yeah, the grave just has a mic, a bone, looks like a star, and a hammer. I'm wondering if these are like some of the enemies you fight.
And of course, as a group of rebels would, without adult supervision. And so they would all quickly
Shenanigans.
find themselves lost where the forest would grow. Until they all spotted something, a rustle in the trees, a figure
Oh.
moving amongst the leaves, a black tail, just out of sight, or rather, spots? Circles? An organized formation, a group of shadows trailing one after the other, snaking back and forth, a hypnotizing performance. A terrified
Oh.
Noelle cries out, frozen in fear, unable to move, until comforted by her sister, who wipes her tears away with Assie's jacket. Who knows what December felt in that moment? Was she confident she could get everyone back home? Did she feel excitement at the opportunity to be the hero her sister and friends needed at that moment? Did she feel the responsibility weigh heavy on her shoulders of getting everyone back to safety? Or was she also scared of the things that went bump in the night, yet still chose to put up a brave face for everyone else? We don't know. And we don't know what happened after that moment either.
Oh?
Not yet anyway. And maybe.
So what they're describing isn't just a hypothetical, it's something that actually happened within the games. Okay. Also, Play, you mentioned those graves actually have several characters from Undertale, most of them characters that were turned into amalgams during that game. Oh. Well, that's fucked up.
We won't get to know, even once the story is over. The only thing we know right now is that without any other option, without anywhere else left to go, without any other thing to guide them back home, the children followed the pointed tail.
Pointed tail.
And then the poor children never saw their big sister again.
Apologies,
Yeah.
friends, for that outburst from before. I have recovered now and feel wonderful. This was such a fun video to make. I hope you liked it.
They were having fun with this last minute joke about the cat. Oh my god, it's the freaking devil cat.
I know I did. If you want to come back, that would be cool. I will see you in next video. Subscribe, please. That would be nice.
Wonder where that music's from. I haven't played Deltarune just because it never really quite caught my interest because I didn't really know, like, what's the point of the game? Like, what's so hidden about it? It's like, okay, it's kind of cool, but I never really got it. This, though, like, this kind of mystery, this is what drags me into something. Knowing that there's an underlayer of mystery, that's something that's not explained yet, that there's a bunch of references you don't quite see. I would love that. That is me bait. The fact that I'm being told that every single fight is bullet hell means that I would never actually get to complete the game. I probably would never even finish the first fight because I cannot do bullet hell to save my life. That's kind of a downside, but it looks cool though, and I would love to find out more about it because of that alone. Oh. Basically what I'm saying is if you haven't already, there's a link below to the video. Hit it up. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.